you.
Emery Andrew Tate III, born on December 1st, 1986, raised in the affluent town of Luton to a grandmaster father and his soon-to-be divorced mother, which may have been a cause of his raging daddy issues, is a self-proclaimed top G, but mainstream news outlets, or as he would refer to them as the Matrix, deem him otherwise. He is indeed a man of many names. Some call him the King Cobra, others a violent misogynist. Today we'll dissect the truth behind the controversial kickboxer and the Matrix he alongside his brother are trying so desperately to defeat. But before we address his current conquest, let's see how he made it here. Tate grew up a fatherless child.
Another fatherless child.
Well, not exactly. You see, his father was simply deadbeat, yet he idolizes his father as such.
My mom said, I don't like how they've cut your hair. I don't like how they've cut your hair. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't look as good. Whatever, whatever. My dad turns up. First time I've seen my dad in a year. He gets in the house. He's in the house for about 5 minutes. And my mom's like, yeah, I took him for a haircut, Emery, but, Emery was his name. Emery, but, I didn't like the way they cut their hair. And my dad's like, what? And then I'm like, yeah, I don't like how they've cut it. Da-da-da. And my dad went nuts. My dad went, you're raising my boys, talking about how their hair looks. They're 10 years old. You got them looking in the mirror like girls. Talk about their hair. What's wrong with you, woman? You're gonna my boys up. And he lost his temper big. When you grow up and you become a man, you'll realize that nobody gives a shit about the kind of hair you have. They care about the kind of man you are.
One excuse for alopecia.
As you saw, Andrew Tate was, and still is, blind to the irrationality and almost sociopathic nature of his father. In fact, he believes his mother's lack of authority over her children was a point of glorification for his father. As he stated,
my mother was very much subservient to my father, which was a good thing.
It seems as though his fans are rather subservient to him nowadays. Maybe, just maybe, he believes he is their father.
These daddy issues really started to show when he entered the world of online entertainment. Aspiring to be like the great father who raised him, he took on the role of daddy too.
Another fatherless child.
This business ended up being his lifeblood, the foundation upon which he made his millions. He took upon his 75 girlfriends and played the pimp, having them sell themselves online through the founding father of OnlyFans, Chaturbate.
And if you seriously cannot derive what the website is about, then all hope is lost for you.
Having achieved the goal of becoming a
positively inspirational and motivating person,
otherwise known as a pimp, Tate managed to expertly categorize mankind as either pimps or themselves customers, going on to describe his first social media rival as the latter. But in all fairness here, even we can't defend True Geordie. He was indeed a customer.
Let's move on quickly. We don't want to shit on him. Romania, an Eastern European low-income country with a high percentage of Catholics, was where Tate decided to move to better himself. And by that, I mean reduce his taxes and upscale his webcam business. Yes, this man decided to go to the third most Catholic country in the world to run a pimp site, or so that was his excuse at the time.
As you see, Tate had an ongoing case in the UK in regards to rape charges, which he himself admits to being the main reason as to why he fled to Romania.
This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you're going to go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988, they're going to say we should have done something about it then. If you go to the police and say he raped me yesterday, say, okay, if you've got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, I'd say, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex, and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, and I didn't text back, and now she's saying I raped her. The police would be like, okay, she's an idiot, bye.
Well, that came around full circle, didn't it? Oh, and of course, to access corruption, as you do.
I like living in countries where corruption is accessible for everybody. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe.
Which once again came around full circle, as Romania's governmental corruption led to the seizing of 15 cars and more than 10 properties, amounting to almost $4 million.
Isn't there something suspicious about this though? Somehow the Romanian government got the upper hand over the one and only
Top G.
Something dodgy is going on. Something like Agent Thunberg.
No! Don't call me a misogynist!
Let's analyze that statement.
I said when I said tell the camera I beat you when you don't do as I say. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say the word listen? Did I say the word listen? You stupid bitch. I didn't say the word listen. Did I say listen? Did I say listen? No. Look at the camera. Did I say listen? No. Did I say listen to you? Did I say it? No. Did I say it? Stupid bitch. Look at the camera. This is what happens you don't listen. Look at the camera. Why are you getting hit? Why are you getting beaten? You don't listen. You. Do as I say.
Seems as though Tate's daddy's issues are beginning to show once again, as he turns to the good old belt punishment. This clip was in fact the sole reason that the Top G was kicked off of Big Brother, a UK show in which D-list celebrities are placed into a house in an attempt to cohabitate for a couple weeks.
In all fairness, the woman who was beaten in the video has come out and claimed that the act was simply a kink.
To say something about the video that's been released recently about me and my ex-boyfriend Andrew Tate. Andrew is my still great friend. What you guys saw in the video, it's just what we used to do. It was just pure game. He's a great guy. He would never hurt anyone. Unless he's fighting.
Well. At least the Romanian authorities can now be certain that he isn't a lover boy.
Everybody get your motherfucking roll on.
It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. What's up, bitch?
As you can see, Tate is indeed a feminist. Equal rights, equal fights. And just like he wants underwhelming rights for women, he also had surprisingly underwhelming fights. Before he made it big in the online world, he fought as a professional kickboxer, clawing his way to his self-appointed world champion status. However, this is a bit of a lie. He didn't fight in any top-level competitions, instead holding his reign in ISKA, a relatively unimpressive league.
That's like being the champion of Bellator instead of UFC.
Or TNA instead of WWE.
Anyways, back to the machete. Once again, in his defense, the clip was taken wildly out of context, as his response was in regards to being asked how he would react in the hypothetical situation of women attacking him with a machete.
What if you upset a girl and she catches you cheating and gets a machete?
So yeah, it was just an act of self-defense.
However, how can he explain this?
Then grip her up by the neck. What's up, bitch? And her panties get wet. Machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet. You go, fuck her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
To be fair, he wouldn't even touch them unless they were barely legal.
We can't have a video addressing Andrew Tate without mentioning the other half of the pedo bros, the talisman, Tristan Tate.
He's big on his suits, women, and, cigars?
Recently, life took an unexpected turn, and I found myself in the most unlikely of places. But it was there, in the harshest of environments, that I discovered my favorite lighter.
Bruh.
Moving on.
The reasoning behind why he even addresses himself as the talisman is beyond cringe.
The talisman, that is a word that means good luck charm. Now, I've had that name since I was 16 years old. There are multiple scenarios where my friends, shout out to all of you, you know who you are, who grew up in the shithole town of Luton with me. Some of you are still in Luton, but I have saved people from very dangerous situations because when shit hits the fan, I do not fail you. When you need a man by your side, I am the good luck charm to be walking around with. There's no way I am going to cower out of any situation for anyone I care about.
It's safe to say he wasn't much of a good luck charm for his brother, was he?
Moving on.
One of his more recent endeavours was in the field of education, writing his own life into a teaching experience for the world to learn of. Of course, for this privilege, one only needs to pay $50.
Now, this course is a double-edged blade. He profits off you, while teaching you how to profit. In this course, he offers the bare basics of business, providing an indispensable service dispensed practically everywhere else.
He teaches us such groundbreaking things such as copywriting, freelancing, e-commerce, and Amazon FBA. Unfortunately, on August the 20th of 2022, the world suffered a great loss as Hustlers University reached its inevitable doom, only to return immediately, of course, as the real world. In the real world, the more money and time you spend, the more you get to see.
This is obviously not just a money-making scheme.
Seems pretty pyramid to me.
The sole incentive here is the War Room, a mythical tier above all else, only achievable by the best of the best. For $8,000.
What? Who's spending $8,000 on a shitty war room?
Welcome to the Tatrix, the rat race, where you spend your life losing money, fighting to climb the corporate ladder, an endless grind to nowhere. How ironic. The very world that Tate sought to destroy was brought upon by his own hand, a fool's errand, a listless endeavour, designed to serve but one purpose, the growth of the secret society and the wealth it brings in. And with all secrets come rules, a list of laws to live by, a book of commands he uses to nurture those who follow his path and tread behind him. These words are a testament to the world he wishes to see. These words are...
Tate decided, in his infinite wisdom, to share a list of 41 rules he believes he and every other man should live by. These go as follows. I believe that men have the divine imperative to become as capable, powerful, and competent as possible.
I reserve the human right to hold my own beliefs and practice them as I see fit, and I allow all other people the same right to
I prefer
believe
loving,
and act as they
rewarding,
wish.
consensual relationships with beautiful,
I believe men and women
positive,
are
and
different,
virtuous women.
and that each has their unique and
I
important
believe
strengths
men
and
have the
abilities.
sacred duty to protect
I
and
believe men
provide
have the
for the
sacred
important
duty to
people in
protect
their
the
life.
innocence and
I
sanctity of their
believe that
children,
men have the
and
sacred
reserve
duty
the right
to
and
raise
responsibility
strong,
to raise their
capable,
children
and
as they see
honourable
best,
sons.
to ensure their long-term
I believe that men
have the sacred duty to raise kind, feminine, and virtuous daughters.
I utterly disapprove of violence within romantic or familial relationships.
I support good and honest governments, and I will obey only their laws.
The list isn't entirely bad. Most of it is just basic morals and telling men to be men. He believes that men have the sacred duty to be their best selves and to be strong both mentally and physically. Whilst I can't fathom why this only applies to men, it's still a good message nonetheless.
There is one point that sticks out though.
I do good in the world and seek to help those less fortunate than myself.
I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes.
The Tate Pledge does state that he will create a charity in which he will donate $100 million, supporting men who have been falsely accused of crimes, and did in fact vow to donate $25 million in 2023 via a tweet, which the Matrix media dubbed an attempt at altruism. But in all honesty, isn't donating $25 million, regardless of one's wealth, still an act worthy of praise?
If you'd like to find out more about the good he does, you can find out more on cobratate.com. Let's check out this site. Let's see.
Teachers are essential. The network is your network. It is the same thing.
Emojis.
Pretty Rainbow for a guy that's anti-homo.
Kate Confidential. Life of the Tits.
Oof, I've watched every single episode.
Of course you have.
Hardcore fan.
Of course you are. Newsletter.
Go on, you have to sign up.
Nah, you know what I'm signing up for? Hustlers University.
Oh, let's go.
Wait, there's no way back. We can't get off this page.
They are waiting for you.
No! Let us out! Oh no! No! He wrote his own fan fiction.
Yeah, fucking...
No, Straw Pillows.
Fan fiction, isn't that like, what was that website? Wattpad, that's the one.
This is Wattpad. This is Wattpad.
This is...
Atop Wudan, the nights were always especially cold. Poe. This is Kung Fu Panda.
It's copyright.
This is a sequel to Kung Fu Panda. Such is the way of Wudan. Top G.
Go ahead.
Top G.
Shop
G!
Oh,
Yo!
let's go.
Alright, so what's left? There's not much left on this website, is it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, let's just go to fucking resources. Oh, wow. A week?
For a week. Let's see this week.
Inside of info.
Making money is a skill. We'll teach you how to master it. Let's see. Go ahead. Oh, not Hustlers University anymore. It's the real world.
It is, in fact, the real world.
Massive upgrade.
I mean, I didn't know the word for
J'aimerais tellement lui dire, mais je n'ose pas. Lui qui
Tourner dans la vida, vida, tourner dans la vida, vida, tourner dans la vida, non tourner dans la vida, 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 tourner dans la vida, tourner dans la vida, me fait tourner.